is going to be playing the green-black deck that I just played against.
Yes.
Steam Cannon deck, as some would call it.
The Steam Cannon deck. They do more. Don't just call him by the Steam Cannon deck, all right? He's got a lot of personality.
It just feels like if you get 3 of them in a lane, it's just you win, I feel like. I don't know what to do about it. You have to have Pugna to condemn one of the improvements. Then you have to wait 3 rounds to do it again.
See? You know?
Good luck surviving.
Of course. Well, of course you wouldn't know what to do about it.
I'm sorry, what's your record again?
What is your problem again? Anyway, here we go. Free tower damage coming out from Axe. Axe, a very strong hero. 7 attack, 2 armor, and 11 HP. That means that if a creep is in front of him, he doesn't take damage. However, everything with a cost. He doesn't have a passive ability. He only has 3 cards.
That's right. He's one of the few heroes with no passive or active ability. But the stats are absolutely insane. And this first round, not a whole lot that either opponent can do.
Well, hold on there, Sunsman.
Yes.
Challenger could put down. This guy could have arrowed and killed
Bronze
Rix.
Legionnaire. Yeah, the 25% chance to arrow into Rix. But of course, he would have come back next round anyway. But again, you want to do as much damage to the towers as possible, especially if you are the challenger, because you're going against a weaker opponent in terms of HP. You got 30 HP on these towers. You got to hit those bad boys.
Oh my goodness, is that
Farvan
the Dreamer right there?
Look how beautiful he is.
Look at how ripped Farvan the Dreamer is. He dreamed of getting swollen. By golly, he did.
What he actually looks like is not this picture. That's the dream scenario, right?
Farvan is actually, he's just a sad man.
So the Prowler Vanguard, that's just this part, right? The shield. Because this is Farvan.
No.
No, this is a different unit?
He's one of the vanguards of Farvan the Dreamer.
Okay.
Indeed. Anyway, pretty good skill here. He gives 1 armor to both of his neighboring allies.
Yep.
And his summonable cards are little goat men that do the same thing. I like to call them the dozen, you know?
The Derpy dozen?
The Derpy dozen. As they go out there and protect each other. Mayonnaise favor, ladies and germs. There's a lot of cards that you want early in this game, and I'd say this is one of the best. Mayonnaise favor is an improvement that gives 2 mana to each lane. Now, Sunsman, does that sound pretty good to you?
Are we doing this again?
It sounds great to me, because what it does is provide 2 extra rounds. He has level 6 mana now, and level 6 and above are some of the strongest in the game. He's playing that a second round, Sunsman.
It's Fwash. It's not a he. It's a she. But
what?
Looking at her hand right now, there's not really anything she can really play for that mana this time around, but that's okay because next round you can get that Steam Cannon. Getting a Steam Cannon on the 3rd round is huge.
It's gigantic. 4 piercing damage to any lane.
I just wanted to mention in this first lane,
yes,
this is Farvan the Dreamer and Axe. I think if you're Flush, you just give this up.
You just don't go.
You're not. I mean, Axe, we talked about his stats, and then Farvan the Dreamer's passive pack leadership gives 1 armor to each respective unit that's alongside him.
Here's a card we haven't seen used a lot, Sunsman.
Yeah.
This is the Shmeeble Blacksmith.
Yes.
He will give 1 armor to a hero in that lane.
That's right.
And then he dies. Well, typically. He only has 2 HP, but sometimes he'll live.
Usually has pretty bad stat line of 2/2, but with a Lycan on board, that's 4 attack, able to take out PA, so pretty value play overall. And you get an extra armor for the rest of the game. That's not a temporary thing. He's modified forever.
Pretty good stuff. We got Debbie in that last lane right there. Black hero.
I just want to mention one thing.
Yes.
Yeah, we can talk about Debbie all day, believe you me. She's going to put Salaman's favor for later in the 2nd lane. But do you see this improvement here?
Yeah.
Do you see what this skill is?
Yes.
That's scary for Fwash.
Yep. Only 2 rounds until Pugna's able to take that out. Very surprised not using that duel. A lot of people value duel later in the game, so surprising only for me because I'm bad at the game.
Well, you would have killed Pugna to kill this guy, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Let the Rix live. Who cares? He's going to respawn next round
We did just talk about Netherblast being amazing.
Yeah, but it's got 3 rounds still, 1 round still, Suns.
Yeah, he would have come back. That's true.
Indeed,
right.
indeed.
I accept your play.
Hey, there we go. All right, let's talk a little bit more about these cards coming out. Chen is going to be put into that 3rd lane. Try to stop the bleeding over there.
Well, we don't know for sure. These aren't the locked in. That's what I noticed. The view that you're looking at is what they're put. Like they select where they want to go, and then they haven't actually confirmed yet.
Who changes? I put him in the lane, and I press the button. Don't think about it.
Sometimes you got to visualize. You put the hero like this, LC in mid, and like, do I want to commit to this? How does this look?
I can see the future, but I don't like it, actually. In this first lane, we see these burly boys coming out from our challenger. One of those guys touches your girlfriend. What do? Look at those abs, those rippling biceps. You don't go in that lane. Look at Lycan. He's got to go.
So this might be a good opportunity to place the Nether Ward somewhere. This is an improvement that comes with Pugna. When placed on a tower, if an opponent plays any spell, 3 piercing damage is done to the tower, which can add up over time.
Yowza. Pretty good to get early, and especially in those lanes that you think a lot of action are going to be happening in. So, yep, we will see that Nether Ward be put into lane 3, because he wants to take that one next, and 9 damage coming out from just an axe and a creep here. However, Fwash has a couple of things that she can do. She put down a Savage Wolf here, sacrificing it to save some tower HP, or go in front of the creep and then, still live.
It's a tough choice, because you're not dealing with a whole lot of HP on your tower to begin with, and you're playing with the 2 beefiest heroes in this specific lineup.
Yep.
I think you probably just give it up.
Oh, come on, Suns fan.
But there is a negative to having this Axe and Farvon in the same lane, right? It's too good almost. They get stuck. They sometimes get stuck in the lane and you can't get them out. But we are seeing he does have an item.
Yep,
to take care of just
scroll. So TP scroll extremely powerful. You don't get to choose when you get the chance to buy a TP scroll, but typically when you see one, you might want to pick it up just in case. So able to send a hero back into the fountain and ready to be deployed in the next round, leaving that lane that you might have already taken and letting them help out in others. Here we go.
For me, that's probably the most auto buy item.
The auto buy? Absolutely.
Yeah.
I see a TP, I buy it. I don't care if somebody's going to die, just grab it. It always helps.
Good to have.
Here we go, Fwash in this middle lane, not having any damage done to her tower. She's got 7 mana, which is a lot. One more, and she's got that Thunderhide ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and play it easy. Put down that Savage Wolf. Talk to me about Savage Wolf, buddy.
Well, it's a 3/3 wolf. It's a creep that comes with the Lycan. And after every combat phase, he will gain 1 damage and 2 HP permanently. Ooh. So if you can't kill him in the first round, it starts getting very, very difficult. Because if a creep spawns in front of him, he's going to survive through that every single time.
Yep. Grand Melee played out.
You got to be careful. Like, this is actually something that you might want to duel, for example. That sounds weird, but you don't want that thing to get crazy.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a bad idea. I've seen a duel be put onto a wolf. Just allowing him to live once means that creeps can't kill him. So It's always going to get more difficult. Right now is probably the best time to do it. But see what our challenger wants to do. Duel is a very, very important spell.
In the 3rd lane, duel will actually be very good as well, right? It depends on what you actually prioritize, because he's going to use duel onto actually Rix. Interesting.
Bit of a mistake there, I would call that one. Rix does instantly respawn with his passive ability, Rebellious. What was that called? What is that called again? Relentless Rebel.
Yes.
That's right. I was going to say Rebellious Rebel. That would have been.
That's fine. I think that works as well.
Thank you very much.
But it's not necessarily a mistake until we know what card he buys with this money, right?
Precisely.
So you never know. But because of this mana advantage here for Fwash, he's able to put down the 7 mana Steam Cannon improvement, which will allow you every single round to deal 4 piercing damage to any unit in any lane.
All right.
So she could just kill Pugna right here, right now.
TP scroll out. You don't have a choice. If he can TP scroll out, he can come back, and those are 2 very high value improvements that he can kill with that blast. If he doesn't TP Pugna out, out he goes. Okay.
Yep, so now he can just redeploy him in that lane, and if she has no answer, well, depending on who has initiative, obviously, just click that condemn, and it'll choose a random one. Either one, like you said, is pretty high priority.
Yep. She does have that blast, though, with the Steam Cannon, so she's able to take out our boy, the Red Mist Legionnaire, the Bronze Legionnaire, if you will. Oh, my God, I just mixed up the lore so much. Red Mist Legionnaire? Get me off of this casting thing.
Unbelievable.
I'm ashamed of myself. Bronze Legionnaire from Legion's Brawn Legion. Excuse me.
This is something that Fwash could maybe use against the challenger, is the fact that he used a TP.
Yeah.
And she can kind of look at the items to see if he has. She'll see that he has 2, right? But she doesn't know if any of them are TP. It's unlikely he has another TP.
Yeah.
So that means Axe and Farvon are just stuck in this lane now.
It
could be for the rest of the game. Like this lane, she's just giving up. She doesn't even care anymore about this lane. She's focusing on the other 2.
Sure. But at the same time, if he redeploys Pugna, it is now 6 mana, and he has unlocked the Berserker's Call, which is a very good skill. All allied, anybody around an allied hero gets drawn in and has to attack, and he attacks them. Pugna...
It's actually really bad here, though.
What are you talking about?
Because he'll kill her, Debbie, but she'll kill Pugna as well.
Sure.
He does a lot of damage, buddy.
Well, yeah,
and then he doesn't even end up killing Chen anyway.
Gotta get rid of that tower damage, pal. Interesting move here by Fwash. We assumed that she had forgotten this lane and not cared about it, but now she has returned to defend it from being lethal and exposing her Ancient. I guess, you know, as somebody who has 10 less HP on every lane, it is important to stop that Ancient from getting exposed.
Yeah, that's a good point to bring up, because the fact that she has 10 less HP on each tower, you have to actually play a little bit differently.
Yeah.
You can't play this like a normal game Artifact. You have to try to prevent as much damage to the towers as possible. Even if you're just delaying your tower dying one round, that could be the difference between a win and a loss.
Interesting choice here by our challenger. He's going to go ahead and put up the Blade of the Vigil. That does 2 attack and 2 cleave, which will give him enough to kill that Phantom Assassin, assuming Fwash doesn't have any items. He knows that she doesn't, though, because items are highlighted in gold when you're playing the game, so he knows nothing can be done to save her, most likely. So that's just going to be a kill. He also has a healing salve to make sure that he doesn't die.
Oh, he'll die. PA, of course, her passive efficient killer, 4 extra damage, right?
Oh.
So if you heal with healing salve, he'll end up having 9 HP. He will still die. So
But
no point in
a
doing it.
leather armor.
Then he'll still die with exact lethal to
But
0. Yes.
All right.
But one thing he could do is put a poaching knife onto Axe, because if somebody has that in the lane, everything you kill will give you double the gold. So creeps will be 2 instead of 1, heroes will be 10 instead of 5, but choose not to do so, and they end up trading.
All right. Well, I doubt she'll ever go into that lane again with 7 HP remaining, but we'll see very soon. And now our challenger has the ability to go first. We do have 2 Berserker's Call.
Yep.
Legion Commander could take out these creeps and get some massive damage for our challenger in that middle lane, but we'll see if that's even worth doing. Because if he does something now, he loses the initiative in the next lane, something that Fwash might take pretty big advantage of.
Yeah. It's hard to tell, especially when you don't know exactly what your enemy has in terms of cards. But both these towers have 8 mana. That's the thing to really keep track of, right? And if you've watched any of these games, you know when it's green, they may or may not have Thunderhide PAX.
Yep.
So being able to kill Rix in this case would actually be really good.
We'll see what Fwash wants to do
But
here. She
ends up passing.
could commit the pack to that middle lane, but that's probably going to give her opponent a very good idea of what her plan is and allow him to do stuff with that. But she could hand a god right now and make sure that nobody dies, and there you go.
Okay. So they will live for the round. It heals and makes them invulnerable to damage.
Yep. But now he does have, if he skips again, which I don't believe he would want to play anything here, he's going to have the first shot in the next lane, which could be pretty good for him.
That's right. So if he does Berserker's Call, he will kill Debe, also known as Riley.
But you definitely would probably want to hit that Nether Ward first. Take out one of those big skills.
There you go.
Oh, there you go.
All right.
That was not bad at all.
Yeah, takes out one of the steam cannons. Always nice to have. But the fact that that was a 50-50, right? So if he had killed the other one, she wouldn't have been able to play this at all. So in this case, it would have been better to, obviously, the RNG going that way.
Sure. But he can now put a poaching knife on, which would give him a little bit of extra damage, and maybe do a Berserker's Call, make a little bit of money. It's not going to be enough to kill the Chen.
Actually, interesting note here.
Yep.
You will not get double the gold if you die in the process.
Oh.
So it doesn't actually do anything here.
Wow. Shouldn't have listened to me, Challenger.
Well, it's okay.
Well, thank you.
So Debbie does 7 damage like we talked about before, but also has the passive Work the Knife, +2 when hitting a tower or a hero. So in this case, will be enough to take out our poor Pugna. But Leather Armor would technically save him from her, but you have to remember Chen is also attacking him in the process.
Sure. So is the right move here to not do anything? Yes.
It depends on, you'd probably just give up this lane if you're the challenger. That's way too difficult. Oh, look what we have here.
Oh, the teleportation scroll, very important for him. He can get that axe out of the first lane and back into the fight next round, assuming that we make it to the next round. But will he do it? He needs that 7 damage to make lethal, especially with that, bad RNG creep landing in lane 1. That is the worst case scenario for him, I believe, in this moment.
Well, we'll see if there's any arrows or, I mean, he could technically Berserker's Call the creep. I've seen that many a time win a game, so
sure.
It's not as crazy as it sounds.
He does have 2 Berserker's Call to work with, but if that creep blocks the axe, he's in some serious trouble. All right, he's all right.
All right, if Lycan's going to land here, this is the best Berserker's Call right here.
Oh,
that is dirty. Dirty.
Our opponent does not want to do anything in this lane. He wants to keep the initiative and get ready to Berserker's Call the next one.
Yeah, he's already killing this tower. And at first glance in this second lane, you might think to yourself, Berserker's Call, it's not enough because LC's not going to kill Lycan. Well, she does have Retaliate.
Yep.
So anytime a unit attacks her, she will double down. Oh,
Oh, no!
that's quite the silence.
No!
That is quite the silence.
Our boy! Silenced out.
call.
Whew, what do you do in this situation,
I think
Sunsman?
you can Divine Purpose LC.
Yeah.
And then next round you still have Berserker's Call, and he won't even, or she won't even take any damage. So
We haven't talked at all about Divine Purpose yet. It's a 7-mana card, and it modifies a unit with damage immunity. Now, I know what you're thinking at home. Oh, modify damage immunity for 1 round? How's that good? No, dear friends. That's forever. That unit can no longer receive damage. Forever.
Yep.
So we'll see if he wants to do that. He's actually going to go ahead and just put a healing salve on for now. Maybe seeing what else our girl Fwash has in store, but
I mean, he could also Divine Purpose the Lycan, I guess, but I think LC is probably a better choice this time around.
most likely.
But yeah, the first time I heard about this card, I was like, that is insane.
It is pretty insane.
It's not as good as it sounds, though, because it does cost 7 mana. You have to get to that point.
Yeah.
And then, in a lot of ways, like, one thing about Artifact, if you don't get a TP scroll or a Blink Dagger or something to that effect to move from lane to lane, sometimes you feel like your heroes are just stuck in a lane.
Right.
And that's something you have to strategize ahead of time. Like, if you Divine Purpose somebody, they're never going to die in that lane.
They are never going to
unless
move.
there's, like, a coup de grace or something like that. So, a lot of strategy involved.
Yeah.
With that card.
It can sometimes be a curse, indeed. If a hero never dies, he never respawns. Not good. Anywho, here we go in this lane. Pretty great creep placement for our challenger here, blocking up Debbie, moving that massive damage, but not going to matter too much as those Thunder Hides are still doing pretty good work here. Nether Ward popping and doing a little bit of damage on that tower, but Pugna is now silenced. He can do nothing but watch. At this point, do you use the TP scroll on Pugna?
100%.
You just get him out of there.
This tower is super dead.
Okay, see you later. Get that TP scroll, get that Pugna out of there. He can't do anything, and we can at least see a redeploy in the next phase. So, goodbye, Pugna.
Yep, so he'll have Pugna and Farvon the Dreamer
Farvon.
respawning or deploying, as it were. And Rix, of course, just died, but has the redeployment passive along with PA. So it's going to be 2v2.
2v2 in the middle lane. Buy your tickets now, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh,
Oh no, that TP scroll
Yeah, I
coming
didn't
up
see
from
that she
Washington.
had the TP there. So this tower, like we've seen, is super dead. And now that Chen doesn't have his ability anymore, it's probably more beneficial. Plus the fact that she only has 2 black cards right now to put to get the TP scroll onto Debbie.
Now, at this point, you might be thinking, okay, very obviously she's going to put all 3 heroes in that middle lane. That's the one that she wants to win. But putting 1 black hero in the first lane isn't a bad idea at all. It would allow her to use Steam Cannon, most likely, which would get some extra damage into that middle lane, because, of course, Steam Cannon can shoot that bullet into any lane that it wants. So, could be a good idea, or she could go all in on the mid. Let's see what she decides to do. Oh, that's
Does she
all
get
in.
value out of the Steam Cannon? Because, yeah, she could kill Lycan or LC from the first lane. Like
yes,
you said.
that's to me would be very
Yeah.
high value.
Yeah, I would probably do that, but this is also, it's not like this is bad either. You're putting 3 in the mid, you're clogging up the lane as much as possible, and you have 2 really hard hitters in Debbie and PA.
See, the problem, though, is, my friend, in Berserker's Call and Initiation, our challenger has the initiative in that lane so long as he does nothing in lane 1, allowing him to have a huge Berserker's Call on these very low HP black and green heroes.
There are 2 red heroes, right? So you can't kill them both before you get to that phase either.
That is true. Oh, that's a high-value Berserker's Call coming out from LC if our challenger does not touch anything. We'll see if he wants to do anything stupid.
I mean, in theory, he could put
Nether
another
Ward in the mid.
It looks tasty.
Oh no, what have you done?
See, this is just a common mistake, right? Because that looks so tempting.
Oh, of
That's
course.
like a free thing to put on the tower. Why not? But we'll see if it can be punished or not, because not sure if Wash is going to be able to. She did pick up this, by the way, from the secret shop.
Talk to me about it.
We've seen this one other time, I believe, in PAX. It gives you 2 armor for 16 gold. Sounds awful, right? But has an active ability up every 2 rounds. Modify. Let's say you click on Lycan.
Yeah.
Lycan, LC, and Prowler Vanguard will lose 2 damage forever.
Modify, baby.
Modify.
Oh no, sweet Muskie.
All right.
She's gone.
So the pick off onto LC means that she's super dead. Of course, this still could be used onto Pugna.
Yeah, but it's much less effective now. All you're taking out is a creep and Phantom Assassin.
And Pugna himself, right?
And Pugna. So not the greatest thing in the world here. He can use a Divine Purpose. He does have 3. He could slap that onto Pugna and save his life.
Yeah.
But that tower is still going to be taking heavy damage as Fwash finds a way to get back into this game.
Debbie is working that knife like none other, my friend.
Debbie is just working that knife on that big tower, and that thing is going to explode pretty soon.
I mean, this is the focus now, right? Everybody's abandoned essentially every other lane. We have Chen in the 3rd, Axe in the 1st. They don't even want to be there anymore. This mid lane is where all the action's at.
Well, could get another TP scroll soon, but we'll see what our challenger can do here. Lycan not looking too good. Shiva's guard is going to come out.
Lordy.
I assume that's going to be used to save Lycan's life on that second creep.
It's going to be placed on Prowler Vanguard.
We'll see about that, Suns fan. We'll see about that. What do you need that black hero for anymore? Let PA die. Who cares? She's done her job.
Well, it's more about you have this damage immunity on Pugna. He's going to be super annoying the rest of the game because this is the lane you want to be in, right?
So you want to sap his damage?
Just 6 damage. There we go. She's going to do just that. Wait, what did she click on?
What?
Did she click on Pugna?
She might have clicked on Pugna instead of the
okay, so yeah, if
boy.
Slight mistake there, but probably doesn't really make that big of a difference. But yeah, Lycan would have had 2 damage for the rest of the game. In a lot of ways, just won't be able to even kill creeps.
Yeah, not very good. But I forgot she does have a Traveler's Cloak, which will allow her to save her Lycan anyway. And, oh, hello. Doing a little bit of extra damage there just for this round. An interesting choice. Payday being used by Fwash, making some extra money. That is going to zap her tower. Now every single time she uses a spell here,
yep, you got to be careful.
Her. Yeah.
3 damage every time a spell is used. And I think it was you yesterday that had 1 HP on your tower.
Yes.
And there's a couple nether wards on the other side, and you're like, ah, I feel so bad. Of course, keep in mind, you can still play minions. You can still play improvements.
Yep.
You just can't play spells.
And in fact, she doesn't have any more spells. So maybe that won't affect her too much. This 3rd lane, though, the Ancient is exposed. Both teams have kind of abandoned it, but that's kind of a risky strategy here. These Thunderhides, they're just going to keep hitting that for 14 damage plus the siege. I mean, that's going to be adding up very soon. It's already going to be doing 24, and this game's ending one way or another real soon here, Sunsman.
Yeah, Fwash with 33 gold. She's definitely hoping for a Horn of the Alpha.
Yep.
Of course, in the middle is the item deck that you choose for each specific deck. The minimum amount is 9. And each time you buy one, it's gone for the rest of the game. Yep. So you can technically buy out your whole shop, which not too crazy with the deck that she's running right now.
Not the greatest creep placement for our friend, the Challenger, as they go to a all but abandoned lane. He will be stopping those Thunderhides for a little bit, but he wanted a TP scroll to get Axe the heck out of this first lane, and he wanted those creeps to help him out in the mid.
Yeah.
So double unlucky on that one. We'll see how he deals with that. He's just going to skip, so he has the first move in the next round, leading Fwash to use her potion knowledge. Fwash can put down the Iron Fog gold mine right here now to make herself a little money.
No, she has no black hero.
Oh, yeah.
You need a black hero to play those improvements.
I get so excited when I see these things.
So you could Berserker's Call Pugna right now. You could pop the Nether Blast as well to get rid of one of these improvements. Mr. Avernus is quite annoying, giving 1 attack every round to every unit, modifying it. Or do you want to get rid of 2 mana? Like, is 11 versus 9, is it going to be that big of a deal this late game? Well, it does go for, of course it is random, so it doesn't really get to choose, but Curse of Avernus is gone. And this is lethal damage right now, so if a Berserker's Call is used, it will kill the creep as well as the wolf.
Oh.
But that is the issue. She did buy the Horn of the Alpha, places it onto our favorite girl, Debbie.
Debbie!
She gets 4 extra HP, and if she clicks this, once it's her turn, she will spawn one of these guys.
All right, there's a couple more options here. Now, you might be thinking, of course, Divine Purpose on somebody, maybe Rebel Decoy, but at this point, you've got it. All you care about is damage. You have to live to the next round. So I think Berserker's Call is really the only option here, Sunsman.
This is not too bad, actually. So, and actually, I think, let's see how much, 6 mana, not quite enough mana to do what I was thinking. So this is actually really smart from Fwash. He's just placing units onto the board to make sure that the Thunderhide Alpha has some free reign here on the sides, because it'll spawn either to the left or the right. But there's a 25% chance that it curves in to hit somebody else. So we're going to swap. There's the Horn of the Alpha.
It could arrow. Let's see if it does. Oh, no.
Straight ahead. That is lethal. But we do have still, we've been talking about this card the entire game. Is that enough to save him? No, it is not. It'll kill Lycan.
Yep. Should have done that
He'll
before.
kill all 3, in fact.
Unfortunately, now if he did not use our little friend the Rebel Decoy and did Berserker's Call, it would have just killed 2 creeps. But when the Thunderhide Alpha, or excuse me, the pack was summoned, it would have had to have gone in front of Pugna, saving a little bit of damage. So a mistake that will cost him the game, but it was looking pretty good.
Fwash wins
Fwash
again.
wins again. Moving up to potentially the highest win rate that we've had on our champions so far. Potentially.
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 What's your